Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed the episode 1. Went a little bit in depth with some of the basics of the game, so now that you pretty much know the basics of the game and how it works, assuming you watched the video, you should know how things work and what we basically have to do. And last episode we automated red science. Red science is the foundation of the game. If you didn't watch that, I'll leave a link in the description in case you missed it, or I'll put the link to the playlist in the bottom so you'll just watch it from the start. So yeah, I am returning to the channel. Okay, a couple of people commented about me returning about a year later out of nowhere. But yeah, don't worry, I'm here, I'm back. Alright, so today we're moving on to green science, and green science is a little bit more technical, but I actually did it really fast in this episode, and then I started doing some few extra things at the end. I'll skip through it to keep the video shorter than the last one. The last one was the start of the game, so it was a bit weird, but counting down in tabs to the start of the game. Once again, I'm recording my voice after the fact, and I'm watching the video as it goes on. So, spawned into the world right here. Let's carry on from where we left off. So last time we automated red science. I set all the random garbo on the right hand side. So I'll skip forward until I know what to edit, so see you in a minute. Okay, so here I'm just starting off with a little bit of research because it was night time and it gets really dark and it's kind of annoying, to be fair. So I'm thinking about researching some lights. I didn't actually do it in this episode. I don't know why. I did research it and I was thinking about doing it, but I just got so my mind was onto other things. So yeah, I realised that we needed like a better output on these because it actually makes 2 of them, or it makes it really fast enough for monitor to put it on every second, like or every half second, should I say. So that's about that for this bit. I'm just gonna move on a bit. So we're making green science, and I actually did it really fast, so as you can tell I'm throwing stuff down all over the place. I knew what to do, it's on my mind, and I was in the zone really, so I'm going to explain all the parts to it. So green science, as you can see there, okay, I'll skip past it, go back on it, there we go. So okay, so as you can see here, we need transport belts and inserters, just one of each to make green science. Very, very simple. It's a little bit more in depth. It's not just quite iron gears and copper plates to make red. It's a little bit more. You got to make us 2 different items using multiple items, but it's pretty simple. It's just thinking of like a pyramid of what you need. So the top one is green science, and then it will go down transporters and inserters, and then what do those need, and then it's another few items, another few items. It's just a matter of knowing what's what and remembering what you need. You see, the only thing you don't know is the ratios, like of how many, because transport belts need an iron gear and an iron plate. Okay, but how many of each do I need? Well, you gotta sort of think about how long it takes to make it, and it doesn't take very long to make a transport belt, and it doesn't take very long to make an iron gear, so it's a bit of a weird one. But you don't need too many. I did a few extra because I like to keep the transport belts so I can use them, so I don't have to keep creating them. Because I mean, it's making them for me, so why should I stand there and wait for my transport belts to be made? Because transport belts are one of the biggest things you'll use. And here I'm actually just upgrading the iron gear making, just so I have it sort of all in one place. Because I can, it just saves a bit of space and doesn't make me need to make a whole new one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing that here. I'll skip forward to when it's done. Okay, so here. I've upgraded it now. It's pretty simple, just input and output. You've learnt this last time, so I won't be saying this too much more because it's pretty obvious what I'm doing. But I'm just making them all go in one belt, because if I'm using both sides of the belt, that means I'm using as much iron as possible, meaning we're getting the most output as possible. Because iron gears they're really fast to make, and it can be a bit of an issue. You'll see that later on. It looks like we don't have enough iron on the belt. But it's not too much of an issue because it's not exactly going to stop us from doing what we want. But you'll see that later in the video. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, what I'm doing is selecting the iron gears. We're making iron gears more, throwing it on the belt to be used for later. So now we are making extra iron gears. Half of them are basically for red science, the other half are for what the hell else we need, because we don't need this many, to be honest with you. and I've just split it off, as you can see there, and it's going underneath the red science ingredients, per se. So half of it is going underground, half of it is going towards red science. So nice little split in half, very good. So now we've got iron gears on one belt, copper on one belt, and we've got this on one belt. The copper will be used for later. We're just focusing on the transport belts at the minute. So to do that, we need iron gears and iron belts. Look what's flowing next to each other now. You see where we're going with this? Both of them are going onto one belt because we don't need too many going towards them. We don't need two separate belts because of how fast they make and how little we need. So just making a few more assembly machines here. I'll skip forward to when we're actually crafting what we want. Boom. Okay, so here you can see me placing down wires, and we're just basically putting the finishing touches on. We've got everything on one belt, it's flowing on one side. It makes a lot of, it's just pretty much common sense at this point. Very simple to make belts, but once again, we're still at the start of the game. It will get much harder later on, don't worry. It's just all basic game at the minute. It will get much harder, because that pyramid I was talking about a minute ago, it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. The sciences are the basic things to make. All the other stuff is what you want to look for. So I'm just I've actually researched a couple of things here. As you can tell, I've got fast inserters now and filter inserters. Fast inserters do exactly what you think. They are like twice or maybe 3 times as fast. I actually don't know. 3 times as fast, maybe 2, in comparison to normal ones, which I'm putting down there. I'm actually just creating a chest, and I'm blocking off a certain part of the chest for the amount that I want, because I don't need to have stored too many transport belts, because it's just a little bit unnecessary really, because if I were to shift click on it, I'd get every single one of those out the chest, and I don't fancy half my inventory filled with, belts. I mean, they're useful, but I'm not going to need that many at one time, so blocking off part of the chest, using that little X that you saw a minute ago. So now we're making transport belts. Insane. We're halfway to making green science already, but don't worry, there's a lot more to this video, so stick around till the end and we get to do some extra cool stuff. So next is inserters. Okay, so we need iron plates, iron gears, and a electronic circuit board. Right, so that's probably the most awkward one. Iron gears and iron belts, whatever, basically basic products at this point. But that's a little bit more in-depth. You've got to make something to put into something else, so that's a little bit more confusing. Shouldn't be too hard just yet if you're new to the game. I mean, all you need for the electronic circuits are copper wires and steel plates. Or should I say iron plates. There is actually a thing called steel in the game, so I shouldn't say that. Okay, so I can't remember what I did first off here. Just literally just watching it as long as you are now. What am I doing? Oh, okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm making copper wires first. I want to get the electronic plates out of the way, because they're probably the most awkward ones, so as long as I get them sorted, we're all good. So I'm gonna cut a minute until we have it set up. All you need for copper wires is iron plates, and they get split off. Basically, you put it into a assembly machine, select copper wire, and then you get copper wire. But they're really fast to make, and they actually, I'm saying all the wrong things. Copper wires are needed for electronic circuits. However, it needs quite a lot of them, so I need quite a lot of assemblers. It does make it fast, but if I need a lot per one circuit board, we're gonna have a bit of an issue there. So the more the merrier. You can never have enough in this game. Basic thing you need to know, you can never ever have enough. As you see, I just shot my assembler again, so I took the pistol out of my hotbar, so I don't accidentally shoot anything anymore, because it's really annoying. Because once again, like I said in the last episode, the C button, which is next to the right walk button, is to shoot. Okay, I'm fine. Anyway, skip forward to when I got the copper wires done. You don't need to watch any of this bit. Okay, so here I'm just doing the finishing touches. I believe we have 10 assembling machines just for the copper wires. It's more than enough, way more than enough, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough going per second. You never know what I might need in the future, so for now, just 10 will do. So we're making, actually, if it's one every 0.5 seconds, okay, times that by 10, we're getting quite a lot. Let's be honest with you. We're using fast inserters as well because you're making multiple of them. I believe it's 2 per copper plate. I may be wrong about that, but either way, you just need to know we're making enough, okay? There is some maths behind this game, so if you like maths, good job. If you don't, I don't know why you're here, to be fair. Because you know, I suppose you could like this game if you don't like maths. It's not a lot to do with it. But if you want to be sweaty at it and you want to know exactly the amount you have to do, then yeah, maths will come into play. But it's all about your effort, really. Here, I was actually thinking about making a gap because I might need to split off the copper wires later for something else. So that's why I was leaving the gap and confused what to do there. Other than that, I'm just going to skip forwards. Now that we have the copper wires, we can start making the electronic circuits, which is awesome. So I'm going to do that now. Cut down the trees and kill a few more squirrels because they deserve to die. Okay, so here I'm actually thinking ahead a little bit. I haven't done any of the circuits just yet. But what I'm doing is actually setting up the line for the inserters. Just thinking ahead a little bit. I'm going to put it right next to the transport belts because they need to go together. So if you think about it in lines, what you have to do. Okay, so at the top, this is what the pyramid I'm talking about. Okay, so right at the very top, above these two, in the future, we're going to have green science. Right, you've put a couple of assemblers at the top left there, just so you can see how it's going to go. So that's the main product I'll need. Underneath is the 2 side products. You won't be able to do this in the future because you might have ingredients you need, but okay, just so you know. So yeah, these are going to be inserters. We're not there just there. Let me say it again. We're not there just yet because we haven't actually made any electronic circuits, but we have the iron gears, the transport belts, and the inserters can share them because honestly we don't need that many per second. It's not like we're constantly using them because of how long green science takes to make. So this is where we start creating the electronic circuits. Okay, so I'm just doing that. Couple block. I'm going to put a 2 block gap in between, besides on the left. So if you put all the ingredients together, we've actually already done green science, and you haven't even realised it. It's just a matter of putting stuff down. Hopefully this all makes sense. Episode 1 and 2 are going to be a bit like this because it's a bit basic, but in the future it's going to get a bit more technical. Yeah, because this went so fast and I knew exactly what I was doing, save the game right there. Because of how fast this was, I actually decided to do something a little bit more, a little bit of future planning. I'll talk about that momentarily, but while this finishes off, literally we just basically did all of last episode for something a little bit more technical in one go. It's only been 12 minutes, oh 13 now, bang, 13 minutes. Haha, I know you looked. If you listened to me, you looked at the time. I know you did. I know you did. So to finish off here, I'm not even going to cut any of this, just to show the progress and how satisfying this game can be. We've got fast inserts going in and out. As you can see there, look, the copper wires were being used up very fast because it needs 5 per 1 circuit. So I thought I'd improve this a little bit by just splitting off the belts. I realised instead of destroying them all, I could just pick up everything, so I did that. So I decided to keep the belts separate because we need actually a lot more transfer belts in comparison to iron. So I'll put the copper wires on the fast side, or the fast inserter side, and because we only need 1 copper plate per, not copper plate, iron plate per 1, then I just decided to use long-handed, oh my god, I can't even speak today, what's going on? Long-handed inserters just to pick up 1 iron. I mean, the fast inserters need 5, so it's a lot more efficient. Now we're making way more electronic circuits. So now we've got all the ingredients in check. I was just picking up a few of the these you know, electronic circuits here just for crafting in my hand because it's annoying. Those are the things that take the longest to make in your inventory. So you have to make all the copper wires, and then you have to make the circuits, and then you just need that to make an inserter. In the future it won't really matter too much because we're making inserters, we're making transport belts. Okay, so now we've got the ingredients in check, so now we just need an output and then another input for the green science, and bada bing bada boom. I'm just storing them here just so I have a bit of storage, extra storage. It goes past the long hand inserter, so we won't won't need this. Once again, blocking off part of the chest because we don't need that many. And outputting them. Bada bing, bada boom. I was in the way, good job. Yeah, very, very simple. So now what we're going to do is put on one belt. Boom, and I decided to use 12 assemblers here for the green science, just to match the green. It felt like the right number, I don't know. But green science takes a little bit longer. So I decided to add more of them to make it the same amount of red science per second. So, boom, cut 4 more. Boom, boom. Now, I'm just going to cut forwards until this is done because you can already see what's going to happen. Very, very satisfying moment right here. So, I'm going to do a quick little cut until all this is done. You can see what's going to happen, so there's no point in adding this in the video because it's just wasted time. So, goodbye, I'm just talking still. Why am I talking still? So here, this is the final product. We have inserters and transport belts on one belt. It's a belt within a belt with a little bit of inserting. It's literally inception. I'm having a moment here. It's a little bit late at night, not gonna lie. So, yeah, everything's sorted now. That's green science. Very, very simple. It's not quite as simple as red science, but I made it sound a lot worse last episode. It's pretty obvious here. It's all nicely laid out, so you can easily tell what's going on. And I also just actually had both of them going into the middle at a weird point, by the way, as you can tell. That's why it's like 2 rows of transport and inserts. Now, I realise here, look, we're using a lot of gears. And now I needed to get something sorted along this. So I thought, yes, now is the time for faster belts. Or I at least thought this later on in the episode. So here is the green science going down and going into our research facilities. I think I actually made a few more research facilities very soon. I can't exactly remember. But now that the green science is done, that is basically half the episode, or at least part of it. I'm just going to show off a few little extra things that I did. If you want a list, basically what I did was we unlocked the faster transport belts, replaced a lot of them with it because we need a lot of iron for just one belt and it's only been split in 2. I tried to fix it here using prioritized left, but it was still using way too much, so I just didn't bother. Because right side also needed it and it's just wasting. Anyway, I'm going to skip forward a bit and just show you some random things that I did. I'm just talking once again for no reason. So yeah, see you in a minute. That was green science. That's part of the video done. 18 minutes in. Damn. Okay, so after realising that the power usage was going a little bit too high for my liking, I decided to upgrade our power. So I made a few more boilers, approximately 5, and I made 10 more boilers to fit with it.
We are skanking the rave. Run with coke, no champs in the rave. Crowd go mad with the baseline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skanking the rave.
Well, that took way longer than it needed to edit, but anyway. So I realised the pollution's getting a little bit far. It don't really matter because I'm on peaceful, but I would like to just see what's on the map. So I decided to create a few radars and place them down accordingly. And after placing all of those radars, I noticed an alien base is very close to me. It's a little bit discomforting. It's still unpeaceful, so unless I attack them, they will not come for my base. but it's rather close for liking. So I zoomed in on it on the map just so you can see. I really like a ping location as well, so I just sort of press Control Alt and sent nukes at the location. I'm joking. I didn't. I just pinged the location, but it looks like I'm about to send like 50 missile strikes. Anyway, so yeah, this is what an alien base looks like. If I wasn't on peaceful, these would have attacked me a long time ago. There's a little bit. There's biters. Those are the things with legs running around. The main base is what you need to destroy to get rid of them as such. Looks like they've evolved a little bit as well. There's some normal size ones. You can tell by the colour of the bases, I think. And also there's worms there. Worms are most annoying. They literally spit acid at you. But we'll probably destroy that in a future episode. For now, it don't really matter too much as long as I don't go and attack them. But it's a little bit close for comfort. Like literally, if you look in top left, top bottom right, yeah, it's fairly close. Basically, all the radar does, if you look on the map, as I just did perfectly in time, see those little squares? There's another base there. So there's little squares that are being revealed. That is what the radar's doing. It takes time for it to scan a certain square. But I have 4 of them down in each corner of my base. One so I can use the map and zoom in wherever I want to just have a look, see what's going on. And another reason is to explore the map a bit more, because the map is huge. So yeah, that's about that for this bit. Moving on to the next thing, which is... oh yeah, here, look. Sorry, just before I go. We decided to research solar panels, so next episode I'll be automating those, just so you know ahead of time. Solar panels is much more efficient than steam engines. Well, it's actually not as efficient, but once it's automated, you're sorted pretty much. Anyway, so moving on, I think I actually I don't know. I'm gonna go edit, so I'll be back. Goodbye. Okay, so here I'm actually automating the red belts. Red belts are fast belts. I just only made 2 of them because I don't need them for anything. It's literally just for me. And they take 5 gears and 1 transport belt. So literally we're making way too many transport belts, so I just split them off and sent them this way. So it's always good to think ahead about what you're going to do. So yeah, just making fast transport belts now, and just to prove how fast they are in comparison, I'm going to put them here, and you'll see the lines go meow, and then it slows back down. So once I have everything with these red belts, it'll be moving much faster, and we'll have a flow that goes much better. Later on, you may see these gears are actually running out of time and speed, because we need a lot of them. I probably should have done 2 separate belts for this, but I'm not making enough gears, and the amount of iron going towards the gears is not enough at this point. I tried to speed up even more because I didn't realise, I thought I had way too many gears, but clearly not. And I tried to do a little cheaty system there, but that didn't work either. Either way, we're still making fast transport belts at a decent pace, so it's not too much of a bother. But it is what it is, really. So now that we're making that, let's move on. Ignore this failure. I'm just going to skip past this. Yeah, it didn't work, whoever it was. Goodbye. Okay, so here I've realised that we actually unlocked stone brick production. Now, stone brick you can put on the floor and you move an extra 30% walk speed. So it's nice to just throw around everywhere. You can make loads of it. And plus it's used for a few things that we're going to need in the future fairly soon. So I just added it at the bottom of the copper. Now we're making stone brick. It's very, very simple. I basically just copied what I did above, but just only did 1 row, so I don't need crazy amounts of it like I do copper and iron. Just yet, to my knowledge, I don't think I need that much. So I just made enough so I could just throw it around all over my base whenever I'm ready. And that's pretty much it. Just got stone coming in, you smelt the stone to make stone brick, and that's literally it. That took approximately like 30 to 40 minutes to make. Not quite as long as the other one because I have everything at hand pretty much. That's the power of automating. It's got easier. So yeah, now that we got that, I can focus on some other things. I was just making it a little bit more efficient here because the flow I didn't copy the same as one above. So I decided to split off each one, then combine them both again. Just makes it a little bit more better because having it split and then going into 2, it's not the best. So it's better to have 2 separate belts just for flow and make sure the amount of furnaces are maximum, let's say. So that does that. Moving on to the next bit. Okay, and for the final part, or one of the final parts of this video, I decided to start making steel. Now, steel takes 5 iron to make 1. Yeah, it's a bit of a bother, so I decided to change out all of these normal inserts for fast ones, and as you can see, the amount of iron going in is a little bit sad because I split it off the way I did. I think I upgraded it later on in this video, and also added those 2 furnaces that are missing. Don't worry, I did notice. Also, I did notice that I didn't add in this video, is that I missed a few inserters on one of the rows in the last video. I just added them. I added them back. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it in the video. Look. To the left of me now, on one of the rows of iron, you can see that there's no output inserters. I just added them. It's at the top of the screen right now, and it's gone. Anyway, so basically that does that. I made some steel. Steel is used for a lot of stuff in the future. I'm just making it now, just putting it there so I know where it is. I only made 1 row once again. Probably should have done 2, but I didn't have enough iron coming in. I might have a fix of that later, but for now, it's all the steel we're going to need. You don't need too much steel for the stuff we're going to use it for, so that'll be enough. As long as we've got the steel coming in, it's not too much of a bother. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this episode. I'm just going around here making all the transport belts fast. Just helps things go faster. That's pretty much all I did for the rest of this. So next time, what we're going to do is we're going to start thinking about a different form of power, i.e., you know, solar panels, and focus on some new things. Like the next science we're going to do is black science, but I might do a few things just before I do that tomorrow, or whenever I do the video, because I do have work tomorrow, sadly. But maybe the day you're watching this, it'll be out. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this. I might just I don't know. Whenever it's out, if it's HD, I'll set this as a premiere like I did last one. But if it is HD, that's when you know that. That's how you know it's tomorrow, or it's, you know, it's had time to process the video. If it's instant and it looks crappy quality, then you know that it's, you know, not the best. But anyway, that will do for that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else I did in this episode. So that was green science and a few little bits and bobs like radars, increasing power, a rave out of nowhere, steel, stone bricks. We did a fair amount in this episode, but there's like one big thing, which is the science, and everything else was a load of little things. So that concludes it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, if you didn't, then wow, I'm somehow speaking to someone. Weird. Anyway, so cheers for watching. Take care and enjoy the outro. Bye bye, people.
We are skanking the rave. Run with coke, no champs in the rave. Crowd go mad with the baseline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skanking the rave. We are skanking the rave. Run with coke, no champs in the rave. Crowd go mad with the baseline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skanking the rave. We are skanking the rave. Run with coke, no champs in the rave. Crowd go mad with the baseline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skanking the rave.